All right, so we'll start our discussion with understanding this login. Okay, so this is the for Manish, you have logged in first time on it. Well, I think you have logged in into it, but first thing that we're gonna do is we will understand this application that has been provided by Salesforce, and then we will see what we can do and how we can do on this. Fine. So that's the secondary thing. All right. So once you log in, you see this kind of a screen. On this, at the top right corner, you have the applications menu. Okay, so this is a drop down which has all the apps listed here. Okay, all the apps that your organization has, all the apps that you as a user have access to. Okay, so there are two things which we need to understand. There can be multiple users under one organization, right? Let's say if I'm working for some company ABC and then there are 20 people in that company, right? So if there are 20 people in that company, and let's say that company has four apps, one for marketing, one for sales, one for HR, and one for finance team, right? So it's not necessary that all 20 of them will need to see all four apps, right? Maybe marketing people just need the marketing app, and the sales team just needs the sales app, and the HR team needs the access to the HR app. So this is the menu which will have all the apps listed which you as a user have access to. All right. So currently I'm logged in as Jeet Singh as a user. Whoever is a user, depending on his access, he will see the list of apps here. All right. So that's one thing. So the apps are going to be listed here. This is the link to the help menu. Okay. This is something which will take you to the help menu, and you can read a lot about stuff in Salesforce. This is the link to setup menu. What is setup menu? Currently you see a menu in the left hand side, this one. This is the setup menu. Okay. If it is not visible here, then you can click on this to see this setup menu. Okay. Right now it's visible. But if you don't see this menu, if you click on something, then this menu will disappear. Just want to see that menu back, you need to click on this setup menu. Okay, and then you can click on your name. It will allow you to check your profile, so you can see your profile there, you as a user, and you can change my settings. You can change your personal settings from here. Personal settings will mean things like if you want to change your username, password, or your personal details like email address and stuff, phone number, you can change it from my settings. Okay, so users personal settings can be changed from here. Then we have developer console. Developer console is basically used for development, so this is a new window which will open where you can do all the development activities. If you click on this, see there is a developer console which opens up. It's basically a platform where you can write your code and test the code and write your SQL queries and stuff like that. So there's something that we will use after a few days. Okay, so not right now. So no, we're not going to use it now. Okay, and then you have an option of logging out as well. Okay, so that's it here. Now let's talk about the setup menu in the left hand side. So what is the setup menu? Setup menu is used for doing anything related to the setup. Okay. So whatever you want to do on the application, starting from doing some simple stuff like creating a user or controlling the permissions of a user, to creating new applications and creating new pages, and whatever we have to do, we have to do from here. Okay, so the setup menu has all the options: managing users, apps, territories, customizing your application, creating your application, developing, everything, data management, everything will happen from the setup menu. Okay, so setup menu is where we go for everything. So that's there. Now the next thing that we can see here is this tab panel. You see the panel of tabs, and it has got a lot of tabs here: home, chatter, campaigns, leads, accounts, right? Okay, these are all tabs, and these tabs are connected to the backend database tables. Okay, so before we can understand about tabs, let me just tell you a little about Salesforce, and let's understand the framework of Salesforce. So Salesforce is built on an MVC framework. Anyone who knows what's an MVC framework? Have you heard of MVC framework earlier? You might have heard in college or somewhere. Do you remember that? No? That's fine.
A model view controller.
Yes, exactly. And what is that model view controller?
Like the things which we have to display, that we keep only in the the sections are divided. The logic is in one part, the design is in one part.
Yes, very
The
good.
controller is the logic, view is the place where we put all the HTML code and everything, and model is the class where we design everything.
Yeah, that's correct. So this is a framework of an application where there are three layers of the application. The first layer is the model layer, second is the view, and third is the controller. So all your controlling code or controlling logics are here on this layer. So this is the layer which contains all the logics. So all your programming stuff. View is where all your front end part comes. Whatever the end user will view, the markups, HTML, or any other thing. Okay. So this is where user interface is, and this is where the data model is. Okay. So the backend is model where the data lies. Alright, so it has three layers. One is the data model layer, which is called model, where all the data is there, database. Second is the view, which is in the front end, and controller is the controlling logics, which binds both of them together. Alright, so Salesforce works on the same kind of a framework. It works on an MVC framework, which designed on MVC framework. So at the back end, we have the database. At the front end, we have this. So this is my front end at this point of time. And then there is controlling logic. Okay. Now, what we understand is backend there is database. Now, what is a database? Collection of tables, right? So here also in the backend we have a lot of tables, and these tabs are used for connecting to one of those tables. Okay, so each tab can be used for connecting to those tables. Okay, you can use tab for connecting to some external web pages also. Okay, however, at this point of time, the tabs that you see, they are used for connecting to the backend database tables. All right. So if you see here campaigns, now this is a tab which is connected to the campaign table in the backend. So there is a table called campaigns where all campaign related information is stored. If you click on this tab, it will connect you to that table. You can see the data in that table. You want to see all campaigns. Okay, just click on go. Or you want to see all the leads. So it opens the leads table for you. You can see all the leads. And then if you want to create a new lead, you can also click on this new lead button and then create the record inside it. Fine. So that is something which can be done. So these tabs basically connect us with the backend database tables as of now. There is an option of connecting these tabs with some web pages also. That's something that we will discuss a little later. All right. So for now, this is how the application looks. All right. And this is the sales application. Okay. What happens is, if you change the application, the tabs will change here. So basically, with a new application is nothing but a collection of tabs, which takes you to different database tables in the backend. So I'm at sales application. See what all tabs I have here. Let me go to the marketing application. Marketing app. See, marketing app has a fewer number of tabs, but they are connecting to the same set of tables there. Like this campaign and the one that you saw on the sales, that's same. There's no difference. Okay, and this campaigns tab and the that campaigns tab are same. Okay, this leads tab and that leads tab are same. So in the backend there is just one table. It's not that for different apps there are different tables in the backend. No, that's not there. Okay, so this app is also more of a user interface, UI part. Okay, so with the change of app, uh, the UI changes, not the database remains same. Okay, so app is a component of the view layer, not model. Correct? Okay, so that's what we have on this screen, and this is going to be the screen that you will use for all your Salesforce development and all work, and even the end users use the same screen, so they get to see the same similar kind of screen. Just that if you are an end user, you will be more often dealing with these tabs. If you are a developer, you will be more often dealing with the setup menu. That's it. Okay, so not much of a difference in the look and feel of this UI from the perspective of an end user or an administrator or a developer or a functional consultant. So we all get to see similar kind of screen. Okay, yeah, again, as a developer you might be using developer console pretty frequently, which end user does not need. All right, so that's about what is where on the Salesforce screen. Now let's understand the sales application. Okay. So what we have to do here is basically we have seen what all they have provided. Now, as developers, what we can do in this is we can customize these applications to enhance the capabilities of these applications. We can create our new applications. All right. We can create our own UI or user interfaces. We can create our own logics. All right. We can put our own business logics to run in the backend. So all these things we can do from our side. Okay. And when I'm talking about enhancing the app, we can do the enhancement on all three layers. So I can enhance the data model. I can put more tables, fields. I can enhance the business logic or the controller section. I can put more controlling logics there. I can enhance the user interface by designing more user interfaces, and the ones which we want as per our requirement, exactly tailor made. So that can be done, right? So that is what we overall we are going to talk about during this entire course, that how do we do that stuff and how do we customize things and how do we create things, and we are also going to learn how do we control the access and permissions of the end users. Okay, so that is again one thing that we are going to talk about. Okay, but before we actually get into the customization, creating and learning all that stuff, what we are going to do is we will understand the standard sales app. Okay, so in Salesforce there are these two terminologies which we will use very frequently. One is standard, one is custom. Standard is anything which has been provided by Salesforce. Okay, and the reason why we call it standard, because it is standard for everyone. So you buy a login, I buy a login. So whatever component Salesforce has given, those are standard. Okay, you cannot delete it, I also cannot delete it. So those will be there, and almost everyone who purchases a license, everyone has that. So that is the reason why that's called standard. Custom is what you create. So this is something which is very very custom to you. So that's the thing. Okay, so before we start talking about custom apps and stuff like that, let's just go get into the standard app of sales which has been given by Salesforce. Let's understand this. Okay, so we will understand this app with the help of a small case study. Okay, So let's just take a small scenario and try to understand this. Okay. Let's say there's a company called ABC Limited. Okay. This company is into manufacturing and selling of projectors. Okay, so they manufacture and sell projectors. Okay, and there's a new company. They just want to start their process, sales process. Okay, so they have started manufacturing the projectors and they want to sell it. Okay, and they just want to sell it, let's say, in California. So that's their target market, only California. Okay, they don't want to actually go out and sell everywhere. They're just limited to California area. Okay. Now this company has so far not maintained any CRM, or neither they have done any tracking of their sales activities. The first time they are going to use CRM. All right. Now let's take the example of this company as a small case and understand the sales app with the help of this. Okay, so what do you think, what will be the first step that this company should do? Just don't think about the CRM, just think about from the perspective of this company. This company is into manufacturing and selling of projectors. Let's say they have done the manufacturing and they want to start the sales process. So what will be the first step in the sales process? What is going to be their first step for selling the projectors? What should they do first? Quick.
To check to find how many people, like the audience, how to sell it, marketing, and how to advertisement, something like that.
So if a company wants to sell something in some area, what is the first thing that they do? Before selling, what is the thing that they do? Okay, let's put it into three categories. First is going to be marketing, second is going to be selling, third is going to be customer support. Right? And this is how things work, right? So marketing, selling, customer support, right? So Salesforce standard apps allows us to track all three of them nicely on their CRM. Right? So starting with the marketing thing. So first of all, you will start with doing some sort of advertisements, or in Salesforce terminology we call it campaigns. Okay, so campaigns is the table where you will track all your marketing activities. Okay, so all your marketing activities are tracked under campaigns. Okay, so this is the table where you will track all your marketing activities. Let's say you are doing a campaign on 10th to 12th of May. Okay, and this is gonna be, let's say this is a You're going to a trade show, okay, and May trade show, okay. So let's say that, this is what you're doing. So you should track it in the campaigns table. So whatever marketing activities company is doing, all those marketing activities need to be tracked under campaigns. Okay. So to start off with, whatever marketing activities they're doing, so that why is it so important for us to track the marketing activities? Usually, companies do not, if they do not have a CRM, they do not even track which marketing activities or what promotional activities they have done. Why is it so important? It's so important because it will give you a clear calculation of ROI. How many leads did you receive from that, and how many of them got converted into opportunities? How many of the opportunities were won? And that tells you that, okay, fine, what money you spent on that campaign and what was the final ROI. So that helps you, understand things. And the second thing that it helps you with is, while you're doing certain campaigns, if you keep a track of them, next year it will be easy for you to decide on which all campaigns to be done, which all not to be done, right? So you don't have to start your thought process once again, right? You don't have to waste time again thinking what do I do and where do I do. So your campaigns are listed here. The CRM data will help you do those things very quite easily. All right. So it's going to be active campaign if you want the campaign to be active. All right. Then just select the type of the campaign, and the status can be whatever planned, in progress, whatever. Start date is 10th of May, end date is 12th of May. Expected revenue, let's say we are expecting $50,000. Budgeted cost is, let's say, $3,000. Actual cost I'll get to know only after the campaign runs, $4,000. Okay, so that's there. In case you have a parent campaign for it, you can use that as a parent campaign. Like if you have a parent campaign called 2015 trade shows, then that can act as a parent campaign for this. Okay, I do not have a parent campaign, so just save it. Okay, so your campaign has got created. All right. Now next time you want to add another campaign, if it's similar to this one, then you have an option of cloning this one. Okay, if you feel that there is another campaign that you want to add, you can clone this campaign. All right. So all your campaigns and all your marketing activities need to be tracked here. All right. Now when you went for this campaign, when you went to this trade show, you will receive some people inquiring about the product, and they share their numbers with you, right? So they are your leads. Okay, so whenever you do some campaign, you get some leads, some inquiries. Okay, some people who are actually interested in getting the details of your product. Those will be tracked in leads. Anyone who is interested in buying product, anyone who shows interest, need to be tracked as leads. All right. So what we have to do is, we just have to go to the leads and track those details. Let's say there is this guy called Ram Kumar. He came and he said that okay, I'm interested in the project. So we are gonna add that as leads there. Okay, so every interested person gets added here as a lead. Mr. Ram Kumar, and let's say he came from some company called, let's say he was from Wipro. Okay, and his title was sales manager. So That's it. Okay. Now, important thing while tracking the lead is, and other information related to that person, the phone number, the mobile number, the fax, email, website of the company, and all that stuff can be tracked. Important thing while tracking the lead is always associated with the campaign. So, from which campaign this lead has come. All right. So, it came from this trade show. If you don't associate the lead with the campaign, then you will not be able to track the ROI. All right. So this is important that you connect it with the campaign and then save it. Okay, so the lead is already connected to the campaign. Okay, so that is my campaign and the lead. That's about my lead and the campaign. Now the next thing that I have is the sales team will call these leads, right? So let's say the sales team calls this guy Ram Kumar and they find that he is not the actual decision maker. Okay, there can be a situation, right, that this guy is not the decision maker. So they say, okay, fine, if you're not the decision maker, let's say my sales guy is calling him and he says that, see, hey, see, we need projectors, but you know what, I am not the decision maker. You will have to talk to the procurement head, okay, whose name is Mr. Ravi Kumar. Okay, now what do I need? I need one more contact to be stored, Mr. Ravi Kumar. All right, so in that case, what I have to do is I have to convert this lead into an account and a contact, because now I have two contacts for the same account, right? So for that reason, what we have to do is we will just need to create an account and a contact for that company, Wipro. All right. See, because I need one more person's data to be stored here, right? I cannot put Ravi Kumar anywhere here because already I just have one space for one name and I have already put a name of Mr. Ram Kumar. All right. If I create another lead, then these two leads will not be connected. So, which I don't want. I want these two contact information to stay together. So, for that, what we will need to do, we need to break the lead into one lead will break up into one account plus contact. Okay, so all the information related to the company, let's say company name and the industry of the company, revenue of the company, number of employees, website address, this is all company related information that will go to the account. Okay, and contact is where all the individual information like name of this person, his phone number, mobile number, title, email address, this is going to go into the contact. All right. So why do we need this? Why do we need to convert it into account and contact? So that I can have multiple contacts under one account. Then I can have a parent-child relationship between the accounts and contacts. I'll be able to add multiple contacts. Okay, that is what I have a requirement right now. I need to add two contacts under the same account, right? So before you can do that, you always need to convert the lead into account and contact. Okay, and for converting, you don't need to do it manually. Salesforce gives you default option of converting a lead. So you have an option of clicking on convert from here. So if you are on a lead and if you click on convert, it will automatically break your lead into one account and one contact. Convert. Okay. Now, the moment you say convert, it breaks it into an account and a contact. So it will create an account called Wipro, and then it will create a contact under that. Okay, so that's there. So we understand account and contact here, right? So from campaigns, then we track the leads, and from lead we convert a lead into account and contact. So initially, everyone who is interested in buying your product or anyone who has inquired should go into leads. Okay. The moment your sales guy has talked to that lead and confirmed that okay, the lead is actually interested, then we break it into accounts and contacts and store them as accounts and contacts. All right. You have an option of creating an opportunity also at the same time, but I am not creating an opportunity right now. I'll talk to you about opportunity and then we will create it. So let's just create an account and contact for it for the moment. Just click on convert. Okay. So now conversion has helped me break that lead into two parts. Account, all the company information goes into account. So as I told you, all the information related to the company, like the name of the company, industry, revenue, address, um, website, number of employees, all these things will come into the account. All information related to the individual will go into the contact. Okay, like Mr. Ram Kumar. Now I have the other guy, Ravi Kumar, whose information also needs to be stored because that is what Ram said that I'm not the decision maker. Talk to Ravi. I will click on new contact here to create one more uh, contact here. That's going to be Ravi Kumar Wipro, and his title is procurement head. That's it. And other information related to the contact, and just click on save. Correct. So now I have that option of having one account and multiple contacts under that account. Wipro is my account, and I have multiple contacts under that. So most of the times while you're selling it to a corporate, you need to get in touch with multiple people. So all those contacts need to be listed here. Okay, that's for the second thing. Now the third thing is, once my account and contact is ready, what is the other thing that I would want to track? I would definitely want to track what they are planning to buy and when they are planning to buy. Right? So far we have just stored information related to which company and who is the point of contact. But I also need to store information related to what exactly they are planning to buy and when they plan to buy. Okay, that information goes into opportunities. Okay, so opportunities is a table where you store all the information related to what deal is going to happen. Okay, let's say they are planning to buy 50 projectors and they are planning to buy in August. I need to track this bit of information somewhere. If I don't do that, then what will happen? I'll keep on bothering them every now and then. You might have seen this. Sometimes you get a call from a certain company and you tell them that I'm planning to buy after 2 months, and they still keep on bothering you after a couple of days. So which means they are not maintaining their database properly, or they're not maintaining their CRM properly, right? The reason why we need to track this, so that we know exactly what they're going to buy, when they're going to buy, and we can target them accordingly. Okay. So opportunity is what uh, we are going to create to track all this information, and opportunity table is also a child of account. So opportunity that you create is also going to be a child of account. So you can go to opportunities and click on new opportunity, and here you have to define which account this opportunity belongs to. So you will say that okay fine, this is an opportunity from Wipro, and opportunity name is, let's say, 50 projectors for Wipro, and give it whatever name you want. Amount that you are expecting is, let's say, $5,000. Close date. So what is the expected close date for that? I said August. They are planning to buy somewhere in August. So I say, okay, close date is expected to be 10th of August. Okay. What is going to be the next step? Send proposal. So whatever, I mean, that can be the personal notes. And then there is a field called stage in the opportunity. Okay, so stage is something which helps you understand what stage your opportunity is. Okay, so the first stage is the prospecting, and then the qualification, the need analysis. You can have your own set of stages. Like depending on your product, depending on your sales cycle, you can have your own set of stages. So it's not that you always have to use this, but this is a generic set of stages, right? So let's say your business requires you to have multiple stages in terms of you have to do a customer demonstration, and then you'll have to take the customer feedback, and then you'll have to take the order. So you can, design your stages like this. So this is something which is completely customizable. So let's say this is what it is. Based on the stage, the probability changes. If you see the next field, probability, that keeps on changing there depending on the stage. Okay. And then you should also put the primary campaign source for this opportunity. Okay. Now because I'm creating the opportunity manually, I'll have to supply it here. Okay. However, if you would have converted that lead directly into an account, contact, and opportunity, it would have automatically taken the campaign information from there. Okay. But since I did not create an opportunity while converting, I have always this option of selecting the campaign. So what is the campaign source? This. Okay. So this is where your actual tracking of the revenue is going to happen. That how much revenue were you able to generate? Correct. So save the opportunity. Okay. So this opportunity is what keeps on changing. You keep on changing the stages on the opportunity. Whenever your sales guy calls the customer, every time they keep on updating the stage. So this has got a complete life cycle opportunity. Okay. Then the next thing is the forecast. So forecast is something that we will talk later. Forecast reports and dashboards is what we are going to talk later. How we work on those. Okay. The next is contracts. Okay, once the customer is ready to go ahead with your purchasing the product, what needs to be done? There's a contract which is signed between you and the customer. So this is where you will track information related to the contracts. Click on new. Which customer? Wipro. Okay, so this is the customer. Who is the person from the customer side who's going to sign the contract? Let's say it's Mr. Ravi Kumar who is going to sign the contract. Okay. And then you can have the start date of the contract. Let's say my contract start date is from 1st of June and it's a 10 months contract. Okay. So how many days prior to the expiry of the contract a notice needs to be sent? That needs to be mentioned here. Company, who is the person in the company who signs the contract? Is the guy who signs the contract. So that sort of thing. Okay. Just all the information related to the contract. Okay. Nothing, not the actual contract, not the terms and conditions of the contract, but information related to the contract, like who is the person who assigned the contract, when does the contract start, what is the duration of the contract. Okay, so that sort of thing, term of the contract, all that stuff can be stored here. In case you have a physical contract, the hard copy of it, you can scan it and you can upload it in the notes and attachment section of it. Okay, You can attach that file as a PDF or a JPG file, so that can also be done. Okay, but this is basically the table, and that's storing the file. In table, you can have all the information related to that. So once the contract is done, the next is orders. Orders table is where we track all the orders. In case you have taken an order from the account, which account, this account, what is the order start date, what is the contract number. So refer to the contract number. Okay, and then you can just create the order. So all the customer orders that you have taken. All right. Okay, has to be after the contract start date. That's fine. Okay, the next is cases. Okay, now in the cases, you will just go and track all the customer complaints. Once you've sold the product, I told you about the customer support also, right? 3 sections: marketing, selling, and customer support. So once you've sold the product, customers will have some problems or issues or complaints. They will come back to you with those issues and complaints. So you can raise a case for each complaint. Okay. So which customer has raised a complaint? Let's say this guy from Wipro has raised a complaint. Okay, and then you can have the subject line and the description of the complaint. What is the actual problem they are facing and stuff like that. What is the origin of this case? How did you receive it? Through email, through web, or through phone? What is the priority? You can say it's a high priority. What is the status? We're working on it. All right, and just save it. So all the cases and the customer complaints can be tracked under this cases table. All right. Then there is a table called solutions. Solutions is meant for storing all possible solution of the most frequent cases. Let's say there are a few customer complaints which are very frequent, like maybe they're not able to switch on the projector. So what you can do is you can create some solutions. The solution is just like a knowledge base where you can have some possible problems and their solutions listed. Projector not starting. Do this step 1 and then step 2 and step 3. Okay. Sometimes it happens that instead of raising a case for everything, you might want to advise your customer support team that okay, try to find a solution and try to help them then and there. All right. So the solution table can be useful if your customer support team wants to quickly check solution for something and advise the customer over the phone. Or if you are using a portal functionality, your customer will also have access to the solutions table. Okay. So this is a functionality called portal functionality where you give access to your customers to some of the tables, and solution can be one of those tables. Okay, so the customer himself can actually look into the solution and find some solution, so that you do not have unnecessary cases coming in for for the issues which are not that significant, or the issues which are very small and can be resolved on their own. Then there is this products table. Okay, in the products table, you have to track all your products. So this is just a table where you track all your products. So whatever if you have different types of projectors, or if you have different types of other electronics goods which you are selling, then that goes into the products table. All right, clear on this? So now whatever we have seen here, whatever tables we have seen from the campaigns till the products, every table has certain fields, right? Like this product name, product code, these are all columns in the tables. All these can be customized. You can have your own set of fields. You can use the ones which are already there. You can use more fields in these tables. You can have more tables also. So if I have opportunities and the forecast and the contracts, I can have more tables also. Let's say if you want to have one more table for storing invoice details, you can have that. Okay, so that is the level of customization which we will get into. So whatever we see here, everything can be customized, but I just wanted you to understand the standard functionality, because most of the times the big challenge with some new developers is that they go learn only development and they don't know the basics of the standard functionality, and then they end up writing code for something which is easily available, like lead convert, which is by default there, and you start writing code for that. And what happens next is the next day you are fired because the manager gets to know that you do not know about the standard functionalities, and you will spend 2 weeks writing a code for that. So that's the problem, right? So there are a lot of standard functionalities which are already there, which can be used. Okay, so that is how it is, right? So we can use those standard functionalities for the CRM at least, and when we have an actual requirement of development, then only we do development. So that is the first rule that you should keep in mind. Okay, that when we have a requirement for development, because we are paying a good amount of money to salesforce.com, why do we actually just start developing anything and everything on our own? We should be able to utilize the standard potential of the Salesforce standard apps, right? So that is the thing. All right, so I hope you all could understand the basic flow of the sales app. Okay, now what I want you to just do is spend some time with it, do some bit of navigation, try to put some data, convert it, go from one stage to the other stage, so that you become a little more familiar with this user interface. All right, especially for people who have not have accessed this login earlier. So just spend some time as much as possible, maybe an hour or two navigating through it, entering some data and stuff, so that you become a little more comfortable with the user interface. Okay, and that way when we start actually talking about customizations and stuff, you should not have any difficulty understanding those, right? All right, so that's it.